Former Congressman Tim Walberg, who wants to be Congressman Tim Walberg again by beating Congressman Mark Schauer, the Democrat, in the Jackson-Battle Creek area, is on the other end of our line. Nice to talk to you again.
Good morning, Michael Patrick.
Do you think there's going to be a Republican tsunami at the polls this November? And if so, doesn't that help you ride back into office?
Well, it certainly would if there was a Republican tsunami. I've gone through two Democrat tsunamis in 2006 when I won, as only 13 of us freshman Republicans across the nation won that year. And then in the last election, 2008, it was a tsunami of major proportions, unseen before, and I lost that by 2 points. So I'm not ready to pontificate or prognosticate on what this next election might be. Just work hard to make sure that in this district, conservative, that's proven a principle, goes back to Washington.
There has been some question about whether or not you support the privatization of Social Security. I mean, you've seen the stories and back and forth and that sort of thing. There's a YouTube video, apparently. Where do you, for once and for all, stand on the idea of privatizing the Social Security system?
Well, this is probably the third or fourth, fifth, sixth time that I've said once and for all. I support again what I've always supported, that we honor the contracts that have been given to those that are on Social Security and those of us who have contributed involuntarily, I remind you, but contributed nonetheless to Social Security for many years. But I would like to see us make sure that we solidify that, we secure it for forever for our retirees, but also that we move toward enabling individual people to make the best decisions for their own money, have control of their own money for now and for the future. And that would be a good thing, because it's been proven that the government controlling the Social Security Fund, which we have now, has not been effective because we've used it as or I should say they've used it as a slush fund for all sorts of strange purposes, put IOUs in the container as opposed to putting a financial backup that should be there. So that's where I stand, and will continue to stand.
This is a situation, and it's a cliche, but it's kicking the can down the road again and again and again, isn't it, with Social Security?
Oh, it is. When you hear politicians talk about, oh yes, we want to protect our retirees, and yet spend in oblivion. Mark Schauer has been doing that ever since he came to the legislature in the late 90s. Led it into the 2000s by overtaxing and overspending and putting the state into a state of oblivion financially. And now it's gone to Washington, has done the same things. In February of 2009, he came out with a promise saying that if the stimulus package, which was over $800 billion, was passed, not only would we keep the unemployment rate below 8%, but he said that it would increase jobs in Michigan by almost 71,000 jobs, and in this district, the 7th district, by almost 10,000 jobs increase, when in fact what has resulted now, as of last Friday, the reports came out from the Department of Labor showing that Michigan has lost 1,000 jobs, and in this district here alone, 9,700 jobs have been lost. And so I think it's going the wrong direction. Not 109,000 jobs as he promised back in February, and almost 8,000 jobs in the district, but it's worse yet, gone the opposite direction.
All right, thank you very much for the chat this morning. You heard it right there from Congressman Tim Walberg, the former congressman, the Republican, who wants to be congressman again. And he'd have to beat freshman Mark Schauer, who beat him 2 years ago. So it's a real horse race in the Jackson-Battle Creek area, and we'll talk again soon. Thank you very much for the time so early this morning at 35 after the hour.